Hi guys, the next thing we are going to learn is about CSS buttons. We are going to style buttons here. So we'll have buttons.html and buttons.css. Inside our body element, we are going to have header 2 and we are going to call it buttons. Then link your HTML with your CSS file, and we are going to have buttons, a paragraph with buttons and one button. We're going to have several buttons. We'll have button with a button class. So we'll have button 1, button 2, button 3, and button 4, which will have colors green, blue, red, gray, and black. And then we go to our CSS file and style our buttons. We are going to give our button this style. We're going to have a background color of color green, that is #04AA6D, and then we give it a border. We're going to have border is none. We change color to white. Then padding 15 pixels, 32 pixels, and then we are going to text align our buttons to center, our text to center, and then text decoration to none. And we want to display inline block. We have font size of 16, a margin of 4 pixels and 2 pixels, and a cursor. We want a cursor to be pointer. Then we'll go ahead and now style these different colors. We're going to have color blue for button 2, button 3, button 4. We're going to have color blue, color red, color gray, and color black. And that's how you give our buttons colors. That's how we style them and add colors. The next thing we are going to set is on how to add font size. How to add font size on our buttons. So we are going to use the same buttons, but now we are going to add this property of font size. The first one, we're going to give it 10 pixels. The second one, 12 pixels. The third one, 16. And the last one, we're going to give it 24 pixels so that you are able to see the difference. The next thing we are going to have is colored button border. We're going to have button 1. I'm going to give it a background color of white with a color of 2 pixels black and a border color of color green. So each button will have a border color of its color, that is blue, red, gray, and black. We are going to add shadows on our buttons, and we are going to use this property known as box shadow property, which we normally use to add shadows to our border. So we are going to have button 1. We only have 2 buttons. We comment on the rest so that we can see as our buttons takes effect. So we'll begin with our class button 1 with box shadow of 0.8. The next thing, we write that button 2 on hover state, we want this box shadow to have this color here, to have this color. It's an RGBA color. And now, when you hover around button 2, you are able to see the shadow, you can see the difference between button 1 and shadow on hover. When we hover on shadow 2, you can see the shadow itself. We are going to look at animated buttons. How can we animate our buttons? We're going to have one button here. We're just going to have one button here and right click me. Then we go to buttons.css, and in our button.css we are going to change a few things here. We are going to change font size to 24 pixels. Then we have outline to none. Just add outline to none, and color is just white. And then border radius, we're going to give it 15 pixels. Border radius 15 pixels, and box shadow will be 0, 9 pixels, and we give it #999. Then on hover state, on our button class, on hover state, we wanted to have a background color of a bit dark green. That will be #3E8E41, and a box shadow of 0.5. When our button is in active mode, I want it to have a background color of #3E8E41, box shadow of 0.5 pixels, #666, and we are going to transform, and it's going to translate Y 4 pixels. And that's how we have our animated button.